Hey yo, what up? Alright, it's another video about Obeah and Wanga, but mainly Obeah because I was watching a film and they said, why don't the Obeah woman do this? Well, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh man, I read this, I was reading this book, and I know what Obeah means. So I was like, okay, Obeah, Obeah, Obeah. That means like a person that deals in dabbles or is enthralled or in magic, you know. So when I first read the book of the law, when I first got it and read it for the first time, any word like most times if I have time, more than likely when I'm around my phone, I will look it up, and I will. That was something I would suggest people would do to get a full understanding of what the context of that book or whatever paragraph or whatever magazine you're reading, whatever it is, so you can have an understanding. You know what I'm saying? You don't just read something just to look smart. I mean, you read it just to have the understanding, and so you can have the know-how, like understanding of it, so it won't leave you. So like you have you. I used to when I was in school, they used to say have students read. The teacher picks somebody to read, and you just reading the words, and like the stuff don't even you don't even really like feel like it applies to you, or you don't really pay attention to it. But like what I'm into, anything I'm reading, I want to know what it means because it's gonna help me out in the long run. So I brought up the book of the law, and I'm gonna read the part where I was talking about Obeah. Okay, again, I'm in the book of the law right here, Liber Al Vel Legis, by the so-called wickedest man ever, Aleister Crowley, or Aleister Crowley, some people call him. So the book of the law was wrote in 1904. A lot of things was happening around 1904, so it just showing the power was just getting it was turning into something at that time, and higher energies wanted to make themselves I wouldn't just say seen, or I would say that their power becoming it was turning over into another dimension. Okay, so I'm gonna get to what I was talking about with the Obeah. And to me, it's very important that I always show you the book and the author's name, so you can always go and find it yourself and do your own research. Research, as in you was a highly melanated person, you probably have to come back to this third dimensional plane, so you just learning it again. Okay, do your for your study. So Unkof Nakunsu, as you see the name right here, is the deity that took over Aleister Crowley's body at the time to make this book. All right. So what I'm gonna do is go to the all right. What I'm gonna do is read the part speaking of Unkof Nakansu and go into the Obeah. My scribe Unkof Nakansu, the priest of the princess, shall not in one letter change this book, but lest there be folly, he shall comment thereupon by the wisdom of Ra Horkuit. Okay, Ra Horkuit, Hormaku would be like Heru. Okay, Obeah. Okay, I'm gonna read into the paragraph, and like I was saying, if you don't understand what something means, always go look it up. And I'm like, I heard the word when I was reading it, the Obeah, I had to go find out what it meant. So, so you can either pull your phone out or get a dictionary or whatever it is, and then figure it out and then put it together. 444 Ashe. And it's crazy. Aleister Crowley has a book called 444, but you know what? I'm not gonna get off task. I can get into that at another time and date and make that more get into it more, and we can really get into the 444, the real 444, not just someone making an album about nothing. Okay. Also, the mantras and spells, the Obeah and the Wanga, the work of the wand and the work of the sword. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there. The wand is the poles. You have a, like you say, North Pole and South Pole. Remember, the Earth is just a reflection of your body. There's no real Earth. It's just a third dimension. That's just the it's just the dimension we're in. So if the poles are north and south, think of your body. You have a higher and lower self, right? Okay, so you gotta think about it like that. And the dot, the black dot, you have two dots, the higher dot and the lower dot. They're connected. So if they're connected, that means the dot in your mind, which is where you sit at, the pineal gland or the dot, the circle in the dot, and then at the bottom you have a dot at the bottom too. Also, not it was inside of your body. Actually, like when you know the ass, I guess, but like the lower self, like the intestines, or not the intestines mainly, but you know where your stomach is, like that. Like if there's nothing in there, that means it has a hole to go through. So those are the two poles. Okay, if you understand where I'm coming from. So you have, that's why it says the work of the wand, that's the wand, because your body as a walking wand. But like the wand, like is in magic, is really the pineal gland. So if you ever seen like Harry Potter series, they always talk about the wand. Everybody has their certain wand, and really a wand really works for that person. That means it's really talking about the pineal gland. Okay, all right, surprise, got that one. Okay, so that what the wand is really the pineal gland, but it's the pole, really, the body. So you're a walking wand. All right, the work of the wand and the work of the sword. The sword, not just a physical sword, as in you pull out a sword and cut something down. The sword is really the tongue. Okay, so he said, I'm always referring to this teacher. It's really one of the main reasons why I'm on this, seeing it differently. We all have our own paths, but some things help you see things different. So the sword, not the physical sword, but he said the sword is of the tongue. Okay, he said, I shoot from the lip, not the hip. That's what Bobby Hemmett used to say. Shoot from the lip and not the hip. These he shall learn and teach. Learn of these sciences, and you can teach the self, okay, or teach your people, other light bringers, highly melanated light bringers. Obeah. Now this is the subject of this video. Obeah. Obeah. I found this on Google. Obeah, a kind of sorcery practiced especially in the Caribbean. All right. And Wanga, he says, Obeah and the Wanga, the work of the wand and the work of the sword. Wanga, magic. I found this one actually on Google too also. Wanga, magical charm packet in the folk magic of voodoo. Okay, which is voodoo is voodoo. For people is now benign. Okay, so I'm going to show you certain books you can actually get. There's plenty of books out in the world, but it's two that I really have that really give a lot of access to a lot of information. Okay, this one is they say, like I said, in the Caribbean, like in Puerto Rico, you have, this book is called The Book on Palo. You can find this, go on Google, or you can go on Amazon.com. And it's by Baba Raul Cantazeres. Okay, and it says the book on Palo, deities and initiatory rituals and ceremonies. See, these are called sigils. And these are just in a physical form things that are actual in your brain, really. So these sigils actually are actually physical things you can use to actually focus on to get what you're trying to get accomplished. Okay, those are called bebes or sigils. Like the Bebe's kids, but they don't look at it like that. We don't look at it as a science like that. We just look at things as entertainment. I didn't know at like that until I really started getting into this stuff. It's just mainly access. If you don't have access to anything, you can't make sense of anything. If you don't really have a clue about certain things. And then right here, like I said, it said Vodun. Vodun is another word for voodoo. All right, The Secrets of Voodoo, and this one is by Milo Regard. All right, this is a very good book too, also to have. All right, The Secrets of Voodoo, and you see the peristyle right here. Okay, like the spine, but you have to really, the spine. The spine is like, and you have all those energies inside you. As you see the people, those energies they're using, they're dancing. Same thing that happens in church. A church is just a big ritual or a voodoo ceremony, but they worship one God or whatever. So these are all the things that really happen in the church, the music and all of that, the dance and all of that. Certain churches do it. Certain churches will be like Catholic or whatever. They don't really do all of that. But you have like the Baptists and all of that and whatever. And they or the Baptist or Christian churches, and they really get down. So that's really the energy inside the church. But the information or they really don't give out nothing. They give you a few verses and then play off your energy because that music got your soul going, and then they just play off of you. But using your information that you learn actually and putting those things together, cross-referencing and putting different things together. If you're a highly melanated person, so-called black person, these are all your sciences that we're just relearning again. Okay. Now also, I don't have my hand on this book yet, but I heard it was a very, very good book. It's called the Voodoo Gnostic Handbook by Michael Bertol. I think I'm saying the last name right, Michael Bertol. You can look that up on Amazon, Amazon.com or Google. I've seen it there. But these work for me. These two, I found a lot of information in that, but I heard it's a lot more vast information in there. A very big book. So it's called the Gnostic Voodoo Handbook or Workbook, one of the two. I don't have that one, so I'm not gonna perpetrate like I do or act like I do when I don't. So these I have this other book called what is it called? Let me go. Let me see. Yeah, the other book I have to go really pull it out. I just saw it just now. I have to go really move some things around. But it's called Haitian Voodoo by Tan. The author's last name is Tan, Tann. And she's very scary. Not scary like, scary, this is, like Halloween scary. No, but she's scared to give out certain names and certain deities in her book. And that actually is holding up your energy from actually going higher to what you want to do. I found this book is a smaller book. It has a way more vast amounts of deities in that book. This book right here. That other book I was talking about, the Haitian Voodoo book by Tan. It's a large book. You can see she's playing down the energy and not trying to. She said, "I don't want to give out all the certain deities." I mean, like, why are you acting scared? So that means she probably either working with the government or some shit, or she don't want like certain energies to get out. Cause I read the book and she was like, she learned through like the priests over there, and they brought her in. She's a Caucasoid woman, Caucasian woman, that went to Haiti and Port-au-Prince, and learn through those people, and but she's not really giving out all the information. But this is a way better Haitian voodoo book to get if you want to get your information. All right. So what I'm going to do is give you an example, um, a physical example in video form, so you can understand what I'm talking about.
No one said anything about gold. I'm sure there must be a good reason for our suffering. Why don't that Obeah woman just bring Jack back the same way she brought back Barbosa?
Because Barbosa was only dead. Jack Sparrow is taken, body and soul, to a place not of death, but punishment.
I'm sure there must be a good reason for our suffering. Why don't that Obeah woman just bring Jack back the same way she brought back Barbosa?
Because
Is that she said? They said, why don't that Obeah woman bring back Jack Sparrow back the same way she brought back Barbosa? Well, because they were saying that when I seen that in the movie, I'm like, oh, I know that word. So I was like, let me go ahead and bring some light or information about the situation. And our highly melanated people can go and not be scared of their own information that we brought to the world years ago. And we can go ahead and, make ourselves even stronger. So if Aleister Crowley was taking his body and mind was taken over by Uncle Nakansu, saying to get your power back through your magic. So he already knew, Uncle Nakansu knew that the world's religions are politically based. So politically based religions actually take away the power in your energy. So in order for you to get your power back, you have to deal with what you brought to this third dimension or this planet, which is through the magic. It don't have to be anything in the physical anymore. So just by reading those books and actually like a visualization of your mind, you actually helping yourself with your own magic. So we don't really have to cut off chicken heads and use chicken feet and all that stuff. We can just read about it and get a visualization, because the mind is really what the pineal gland is really what um, puts the magic into action of its purpose. So like that, it's like skipping a step. You know what I'm saying? Like skipping that. We don't have to do the physical stuff and put stuff out or whatever, and kill certain thing and wring out blood and stuff. We don't have to do all of that. We can mainly use our mind and push those things into an existence.
Barbosa was only dead. Jack Sparrow is taken, body and soul, to a place not of death, but punishment.
The look in her eyes. Ooh, she a sexy woman. Man, have I ever seen? I love that because if you watch the series, she really know her shit, and she really's not she's not guessing. It's no real guesswork. She's doing it as in she knows what she's doing. Her power is untamed, and everybody's always watching to see what she's doing. So I love that. So, but yeah, seeing that when I saw that in the movie, I said, hey, let me bring some light to this, um, make a video about it. All right, peace.